Hello, hello. So I had a request to teach how to do a quick nail art that this girl's going to do on some toes. I'm going to try to get the lighting right. And so I thought I would just do a video on how to do it so that I could share it. So in the video, or in the picture, it was like a kind of a dark gray, and it had some pink and white striping on there to create a flower. So I just put a tip on here, and so let's say that that's your enhancement, or your toes, your natural nail, however. If it's on a natural nail, you'll apply a base coat first, and then you would go into your color. Remember, the trick with gel polish, I'm going to pretend this is a toenail, is to put your bulk on first towards the center, then fan out your bristles and push it up to the cuticle area where you want it, and then drag it down. And what that does is it allows that cuticle area to be a crisp, nice grow out, and it allows it to be thinner too. If you start right at the cuticle first, then you're going to have a bulk there. Always go over your gel polish a couple times just to make sure that it can self-level out and get as nice as possible. And you can tell that if you do this, a lot of times you can just do one coat and get a nice coverage. Allow it to set a moment. Sometimes we work with gel polish too fast, so allow it to set so you can see how perfect the ring is, the light. Now I can say I have this tip sitting around. I probably should have wiped it off first because I can see that I have little particles in there, but for this tutorial it'll be okay. Then set that in your light for the amount of the gel polish. I cure everything, the whole thing. I don't do a flash cure because I just feel like every time I do that, I'm not getting a complete cure, even at the end when I can set it in for the long time. So I just take the time to go ahead and set it in the light for the full amount of time. Make sure that if you're working in a case like what I'm doing right now, is my light is right there and my gel polish is right there. So therefore, move your gel polish out of the light or you're going to have it set in the bottle. That is not allowed. Okay. So my light is for 30 seconds. It's gelish light, and I'm using gelish polish. So 30 seconds is its full cure. And I'm going to do a second coat. Same thing, my bulk goes to the center first. Push it up to create my smile line, or in this case, I'm mimicking a cuticle line. Go over it again, work your gel polish in, and allow it to rest. Don't work with it too fast. I love this color too. It's a gelish color. It's called Jet Set. It has a little bit of a purple undertone to that gray. It's really pretty. Okay, set that in the light for, in my case, it's 30 seconds. So if you guys ever have a design that you want to learn to do, and if it's something that I feel that I can teach, then post it. Let us see it so that I can do a video to show you how, because that's the best way that we learn, is visually and verbally learn. Okay, so I'm going to remove the tacky layer off that because gelish has a tacky layer. I'm going to use a makeup wedge and 91% rubbing alcohol. And then I'm going to remove the tacky layer. At this point, if you at all see that your gel is like missing, a whole section came down, it's probably your light. That means your bulbs are bad. So if you can wipe it off, nothing really, sometimes a little bit of color will get on here, but if nothing really comes off and it stays on there, then you know your light's good. So sometimes it's good to test your light and make sure it's right. Okay, so what I'm going to use today is just striper brushes. Shake them up. The advantage of striper brushes is that they have their own striper. And you can use like gel paint or gel polish with a striper brush as well. I've just used these for years, so it's my comfort level is these striper brushes. Get some nice ones that come to a nice point. Brush is flexible. And then for the dots, I'm actually going to use craft paint. You can use gel paint again and all of that, but for little tiny dots, craft paint will hold up. And I use it right out of the lid. I'm going to use my dotting tool. And then to give the idea that it's rhinestones, I'm going to use these little flat discs and just set them up in the gel polish. So the design that she wanted to learn is a flower, and it's doing flares. So let's say we're going to do it from the corner of, this is going to be a toenail. Using the tip of your brush, lay it on the nail, and then as you're doing your flare, you're going to lift up the brush. And that gives you a tapered effect. So your first point of contact is going to be your widest point, and then as you come across, it tapers up. What's nice about abstract flowers is they don't have to be perfect. Every petal can be different. No, if you look at them in real life, they grow the way the sun hits them, so therefore the petals are all different. Don't try to make them all the same. So in this one, the center part had pink in it. It's just a matter of layering. Sometimes we look at a picture and immediately we're like, oh my gosh, that's too hard. But once you see it done, and once you can see how you can layer it, it changes the idea for us. Then using your dotting tool, bring in and add some dots. And I've showed many times that these dotting tools, just depending on what size the tip is you're using, is what type of dots you're going to get. And your first dot, let me find something dark. I can wipe it off this book. Your first dot is going to be your biggest dot. And then as you continue to use that same paint and you dot down, it will naturally taper until it's nothing. And so that's how you can use your dotting tools the right way. It's kind of fun. Okay, so in the tutorial of the picture that she wanted to recreate for toes, it looked like that. And then add, in this case, I'm just going to take a dab of base coat. Now, if you're putting a gem on, you would top coat that, then use like your gummy jelly or hard gel, and you would put your gem on. In this case, I'm going to use a flat disc, so therefore I've set them up in gel polish many times. So this is a base coat. You could use base or top for this. I'm going to dot where I want my gem to be. And these are just little flat discs that I got at a craft store a long time ago. Pick that up. I don't know if you can see that I have a little tiny flat disc on there. Set it on to where that base coat is. So now it's going to be stuck into the gel from the bottom, and then I'm going to encapsulate it and put it in on the top as well. And it looks like it's a rhinestone on there, but it's not. It's flat. So it's perfect for toes. So being that's a base gel, I'm going to set that in the light just for a second, just to hold that to where that gem doesn't move around so I can top coat it. Then at this point you can come in with matte finish if you want, and then add a little gloss over that, the stone, to make it look like it's, you know, truly a stone. Or in this case, I'm just going to go over it with gloss. Top coat's the same way. Put your bulk to the center, push it up to the cuticle, drag it down. Go over it more than once just so they can move that gel polish around. Cap your free edge. Give it a second to set. If it starts running down the sides, which I can tell, I think this is going to do that on me. I can't tell. But you can take a brush or your finger. Of course, on a fingernail, you can run it around the sides. On a toenail, you're going to need to maybe use a brush and make sure it didn't, you know, okay, so I always say the word ooze, so make sure it doesn't ooze into your sidewalls. Get your nice finish, and then set that in the light for its full time. Nail art it can be intimidating, but it doesn't have to be when you can figure out how to layer it out. So if you ever need help layering out your artwork, tag me and I'll see if I can do it. And if not, I will help find you a tech that I know that specializes in that, and then I can get you guys linked up so that you can learn how to do these different artworks. And if you are one that's watching this and you're like, I know how to do that, then guess what? I challenge you to make a video of how to do these things and share them with us as well. Put yourself on the next level and help educate. Okay, remove the tacky layer, and you have a very cute, easy design using stripers and dotting tools and make it look like it has a rhinestone when it really doesn't. So it's nice and smooth. All right. So thank you. Good luck to those of you that are doing this design next week, because it looked like it was being requested, and so that's why I did a video. And thank you for believing in me and reaching out to ask me to teach. I appreciate you. Thank you.